Friends, good evening. Thank you for joining us to another Gnostic Lab of Practical Application. Tonight, we're going to do the practice with the mantra RAOM GAOM. The mantra RAOM GAOM is one of those very powerful words of power. And we see this mantra mentioned in two of Samael's works. We can find some of his teaching on this mantra in the book The Perfect Matrimony. That is the version of the book of 1978, not The Perfect Matrimony of Kinder, 1950. Perfect Matrimony of 1978. And also, we find it in the writings of the book Igneous Rose. Igneous Rose, specifically under the chapter on the magic of the peppermint. The mantra RAOM GAOM, Samael tells us, are to the student what dynamite is to the miner. Just as you can imagine miners coming together and working, trying to perforate a mountain so that they can remove all of that extra rock and be able to find the precious metals that they need. The same thing happens with the mind. The mantra RAOM GAOM helps you dig deep into the subconsciousness and into the infra-consciousness. This mantra is so powerful that when we are working with the elemental magic of the peppermint, and this is for you, those of you students of our intermediate and advanced levels, working with the elementals of the peppermint and singing these mantras would help you remember your past lives. But before we get into that, we have spoken many times about the importance of doing an exercise of retrospection at the end of the day. This is necessary because we must become conscious of what has been happening during the day. And if we make a good habit of doing this every night, rather than just throwing ourselves in bed hoping that we're going to pass out quick because we're so exhausted, we start creating here a habit that we can easily replicate when we are unfolded in the astral plane in the fifth dimension. Good habits that we develop here are good habits that we bring with ourselves into the fifth dimension. In the same note, if we perpetuate our bad habits here, we will bring those bad habits into the dream state and continue repeating the same mistakes that we have made here, but up there. So when it comes to the exercise of retrospection, if we start practicing retrospection more often than what we do here every Thursday, what will happen is that you will start developing the ability and the quality of your memories. More soon than what you would realize, not only you would be able to retrospect into very fine and minuscule details of your day, but suddenly you will be able to start remembering what has happened the day before. Suddenly you will be remembering what has happened the week before. And in your daily practice, suddenly you will not be wondering, where did I leave my phone? Or where are the keys? Or where are my sunglasses? You would be immediately able to see that with your eye of intuition and say, go there and find them. That ability of the mind will start becoming so much efficient. And if we make of this a good habit from this moment until the moment where we happen to take our last breath, then as we go through the three judgments that all the deceased go through, it will become very easy for the consciousness to then retrospect and revisit events. We start taking this habit and we turn it from a habit into a consistent, well invested practice. When we use the mantra RAOM GAOM, as you open yourself to the principle of spontaneity, as you empower the intuitive ability of the consciousness to see and to perceive, suddenly you start seeing images that flash before the eyes of the consciousness. And when those images show up, you suddenly start remembering things better. You have some trouble remembering the name of a person, of a friend, well, as you practice the mantra RAOM GAOM, that is going to start coming back intuitively. You read a book, you don't remember well, what is it that you read? Well, after you read that book, you sit down and you practice with the mantra RAOM GAOM in a good meditation, and you will be able to start extracting all of that from your memory. And when we are speaking of the practice of dream yoga, the mantra RAOM GAOM combined with a good retrospection will empower you to bring back everything that you experienced, everything that you heard, everything that you learned while you were out in your dream state. You can further improve the quality of your memory if you make some slight changes in your breakfast. If you, rather than enjoying a bowl of cereal or enjoying perhaps a greasy breakfast in the morning, you make some substitutions and you have something that is perhaps a little lighter. You can have some citric fruit with some almonds and some honey. You start providing some very good atoms that help nourish your memory. And as you add this into your diet, well, as you continue to consume this, you start providing the body much of what it needs, and you start remembering things easier. Your memories start becoming so much more vivid. Those mental image frames become so much more fruitful in terms of content of experience. So this is why we use the mantra RAOM GAOM. As we go to sleep at night, well, lamentably, we live in situations where we have so many commitments that we cannot just allow ourselves in many times to wake up with sunrise. We need to set an alarm clock that does exactly that at the moment of waking us up. It alarms us. And the moment the alarm clock starts going up, well, typically people will jump out of bed and run, find the alarm clock and shut it off so that they don't wake up their spouse, so that they don't wake up their children or perhaps a baby in the bedroom. And the moment that we wake up, if we do not remain still, as the body jumps out of bed, that astral body is still seeking to fully couple with the physical body. And because the physical body jumps so abruptly, it shakes the astral body and all of the memories of dreams become lost. This is something that contributes to the problem of forgetfulness when it comes to our oniric or our dream experiences. When you wake up, do so in a way that you do not have to violently move your body. Wake up in a way where you can control the alarm clock without making much motion so that you can allow your astral body to come back and recouple perfectly with your physical body. Doing this at the moment of waking up and immediately inviting a retrospection on what is it that you saw, what is it that you experienced, what things did you learn, what symbols were present, what caught your attention the most out of that particular dream. Suddenly you start being able to bring back a significant amount of details. And if you happen to have your Gnostic journal under your pillow, then also with very minimum motion, you can retrieve your journal and your pencil and you can write down your dream. If we make the habit of writing down our dream, we will notice that there are some dreams and some symbols, some elements that will repeat themselves consistently. They will show up at some frequencies. And these are parts of the teaching, the messages, the communication that the innermost is exercising with the consciousness. And applying what you're learning, realizing that some dreams are, in a way, prophetic in nature, and you dream something today, and the next 2 or 3 days, you start seeing things materialize. This also starts giving you a good indication on how you can prepare for upcoming events. You can get good messages that tell you in which areas of the psyche you must focus on, which defects are the most pressing ones. There is a wealth of information that if we just forget it, we simply lose it. And if at that moment of waking up, you shake your body a little bit and you feel that you're forgetting your dreams, by simply relaxing your body and singing the mantra RAOM, GAOM, suddenly you will start seeing those images flashing before the eyes of the consciousness. You will be able to perceive that with the eye of your intuition. And as you see that with your objective imagination, you start getting, what is it that means? Why is the reason that you're seeing that? You start extracting the spiritual reality of that experience, but simply because the mantra allows of those memories to emerge from the subconsciousness and the infraconsciousness. During the day, we have a similar problem. I mean, we carry the bad habits of the day into our dream state. So during the day, we're just too distracted. There are many friends students who have said, I have noticed that as I have started these practices, now I am looking at some of the stuff in my social media, and everything is so boring. Everything is just so useless. Everything is just intended to create a distraction, and I am not getting anything from it. And as they have that type of cognition, and they start putting their phone away and not checking it every 5 minutes, they start becoming more aware of the environment and bringing that extra awareness into the environment allows you to make use of a key of discernment. The key of discernment lets you know if you are in the physical plane or if you are in the astral plane, because you can ask yourself with no difficulty at all, where am I? And you can simply pull your finger, and you will see that as you pull your finger, if you happen to be in the fifth dimension, that finger is going to stretch. And when you let go, the finger comes back. Good indication. That is, if you just choose to not jump with the intent of floating, so that people are not wondering if you have gone crazy. So these are things you can do. And at night, well, let's bring the good habit of retrospection. Retrospection at night for the activities of the day. Good discernment during the day so that we can remember. And, of course, as we do a retrospection at night and we enjoy of the dream state, then good retrospection in the morning so that we can bring back what we lived within the fifth dimension. The good thing with the mantra RAOM GAOM is that it is a mantra that you can sing mentally. Trying to sing it with the power of your creative word, well, it induces some stress and vibration in the body. That is certainly a good one. But if you are trying to keep your body ultra relaxed so that you can remember your dreams, well, that additional stress may take away from you the ability of you to remember. So this is a mantra that you can sing mentally, and it is just as effective. When we are singing the mantra RAOM GAOM, Samael says, emphasize the O. The good thing is that the letter A, when we sing it, it allows for the chakras of the lungs to vibrate in harmony. And as we are breathing, we can extract so much better that prana that comes with every breath. And emphasizing the letter O, as the chakras of the lungs vibrate, as the thymus gland vibrates with the letter A, well, it follows then for the heart to vibrate as well with the letter O, and the letter M allows for the vibration of your creative center, of your sexual creative center, which enables the moving and the good stimulation of the creative waters. Then we can start using of that creative energy for this very specific spiritual practice. Chant this and emphasize the letter O. RAOM GAOM. And you repeat that cycle over and over and over again. Be aware that as you practice this, as you nourish yourself with that material that helps you improve the quality of your memories, eventually not only you're going to be able to perceive good images from your past lives, but also you will be able to gain visibility to the sealed records of nature. You would be able to look at those Akashic records as you continue working on awakening the consciousness, and you will be able to see many of your past experiences written right there. So this mantra is the mantra of the elementals of the peppermint. And working with these elementals, they help us take access into the Akashic records of nature. They help us gain visibility to our past experiences and past lives. And we, knowing, and based on what we learned this week, that we have gone in a transmigration of souls from the mineral into the plant kingdom, and that all of this wisdom from the plant kingdom exists as part of our being, then we can chant this mantra so that it can also help us. All of those parts of the being can come together and help us improve our memory, have better recollection of the events during the day, make better use of our discernment, and of course, end up awakening the faculties of the consciousness. So tonight, let's go ahead and relax our body. If you choose to lay flat on your back with your head pointing towards the north, that is a phenomenal posture for this exercise. Some of you may fall asleep. If you do, remember, when you wake up in the morning, don't move. Stay there. RAOM, GAOM. Remember, take note of your memories. Others of you may choose to remain seated. At the end of the practice, well, keep in mind that we will deliberately finish the practice. We will bring you back. And if you get too comfortable, it may be just a little inconvenient just to leave that comfort to come back and turn on the computer. So let's go ahead and start by closing our eyes. Find your comfortable posture. And if you're sitting, sit with your sit facing towards the east. And if you're resting on your back, whether it is the corpse posture or whether it is the posture of the flaming star with your legs spread out about shoulder width apart, your arms comfortably spread side to side. Do that with your head pointing in the northern direction. That way you can align your body in the same direction where these very gentle forces of nature are flowing. As we do this, let's focus our attention on our physical body. Notice if there's anything that is distracting, something that feels a little tight, something that feels heavy, something that brings any kind of discomfort into your body. This is a good time just to relieve that pressure. And while you do that, the rest of us, we take a deep breath in 1, 2. Whether you're sitting or you're resting on your back, with every exhalation, just allow your body, the weight of your body, to be evenly distributed over that surface. 1, 2. Simply allow your body to sink a little deeper onto that chair, onto that mat or that mattress. Taking one more breath in 1, 2. And let's go ahead and make ourselves aware of our emotional state. Emotions are always preceded by thoughts. Sometimes we spend so much time in any specific emotion that suddenly we don't even know why we feel the way that we feel. But knowing that emotions are preceded by thoughts, there is something that keeps you frustrated, well, there is evidently some battle right there in the mind that may have gone hidden and may be worth watching for. On the same token, if we feel sad, if we feel defeated, if we feel content or indifferent, we can then be watchful for thoughts that would inevitably result in the perpetuation of that emotion. So being aware of our emotional state is important because it helps us discover more of what is happening at the level of the mind. But also because being aware of our emotions empowers us. We know very well that these emotions come and go with the swing of a pendulum. And we know just as we are happy today, well, we will be a little sad later. And just the same, we know that we feel sad today, well, later on we're going to be happy once again. And because these emotions are all temporal, knowing that lets us know that it's really not worth holding on to them. The more we hold on to those emotions, the more we continue swinging with that pendulum. And the best thing is to stand on a third position, where rather than riding the pendulum, we can stand comfortably and contemplate it and see how the circumstances can take us from happy to sad, from victory to defeat, from joy to sadness. And because we can then observe that pendulum, it becomes very easy on our effort for the consciousness to reconcile these opposites. So if someone comes to you with words that you know will stress you out, well, we know that on one side of the pendulum swing we're stressed and on the other one we're calm and relaxed. So then we can listen and perceive rather than reacting. And we will know that there's no need to get stressed out. Somebody comes to insult you, well, in the same way. We know that the swing of the pendulum will take us from feeling insulted to feeling venerated. And if that is the case, then we simply can let go and observe the reactions of the ego in the mind, in the heart, even in the body. And that gives us so much more comprehension. So we take another deep breath in 1, 2. One, 2. And we will start by creating that good circle of protection around us, reciting the mantra Klim Krishnaya. Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopihana Vayavaya Swaha. Let's do that again for good practice. Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopihana Vayavaya Swaha. One more time for good practice. Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopihana Vayavaya Swaha. We have learned that this is a very powerful mantra of protection. We have learned how a flaming star materializes that shrouds us, that protects us. We know that this is a great mantra to sing when we wake up in the morning, before we meditate, at any difficult time or dangerous time of the day. And after chanting this mantra, let's bring about a new mantra tonight. A mantra that can help us invoke the Father of our Father. Invoke beyond the being our real being. To invoke within us to our individual and particular Ancient of Days. And that is the mantra Pander. Last one. Divine and powerful real being, you who are our Ancient of Days, we are humbly here at your presence as a child to its grandparent, to ask of you and beg of you for your contribution. Grant us the faculty to perceive those key events in our past lives. Give us the ability to exercise a remarkable retrospection. Give us the faculty of clairvoyance, objective imagination, so that we may see with the greatest clarity the events that have transcribed during the day, the events that have taken place in our past lives. And give us with that the faculties of intuition and inspiration, so that as we perceive those events, without using the logical processes of the mind, that we can clearly apprehend the reason, the significance of the event itself. That with no doubt at all we can capture the spiritual reality of all of those past experiences of today, and past experiences of lives long past. And best of all, we beg of you that you do this in a way that is so clear, that it is so undoubtedly coming from you, that when we experience it, that we see it for what it is, that we see it for where it's coming from, and that it leaves no doubt within our heart that the experience of our consciousness is being facilitated by you. Help us build an unshakable faith, faith that comes through that direct experience, so that our consciousness may awaken, so that our consciousness may awaken. We ask of this by the universal charity, and we ask of this in the name of the Christ, by the power of Christ, by the love of Christ. Amen. Let's bring the attention of our consciousness to the tips of our toes. And let's focus on our toes, our heels, our ankles, our shins, our calves, our knees. Bring back the attention onto your breath. Now that you're feeling that gentle sensation that comes with a good relaxation on your shins and your feet, let's take a deep breath in 1, 2, and allow your body just to sink a little deeper onto that surface. And maintaining a good focus on your breath, enabling your breath to flow effortlessly, allowing your breath to be almost imperceptible. We bring back the attention of our consciousness to our knees, the underside of our thighs, our glutes, our pelvis, our lower abdomen, and at this moment we can invoke our Divine Mother, saying, Divine Mother, Mother of mine, we ask of you with our heart and our soul that you bring about the Hermetic seal. We ask of you, Divine Mother, that at the level of the intellect, the emotion, at the level of our instincts, of our activities and actions, of our sexuality, that you close all of those doors that we may have left open unto others, doors that allow for inferior emotions, doors that we may have opened by blind trust, open by blind devotion, open because we just assigned incorrect attributes into others. And close those doors so that there are no open doors to negative emotions. So there are no open doors to negative thoughts. So that within us there is only room for the expression of our innermost, for the manifestation of our consciousness. We ask of this in your gentle name. So be it. And still perceiving that gentle vibration in our legs, the vibration that comes with relaxation. We bring our attention to our lower abdomen, and we allow for the relaxation of our internal organs, our stomach, our lungs, our heart. We bring the attention of our consciousness gently upwards in our spine, from the base of our spine, our lower back, our middle back, all the way up to the base of our neck. And from there into our shoulders, elbows, wrists, hands. We focus the attention of our consciousness at the base of our skull. And we even allow ourselves to perceive that presence. We allow the attention of the consciousness to continue expanding along the sides of our head. And as it expands along our scalp, we bring the attention as well to our jaw. We relax our muscles and our lips, our tongue, our eyes, eyelids, forehead. And we allow that relaxation to find itself at the very crown of our head, so that we may receive a gentle blue light that descends from the heavens, a blue light that emanates from within the heart of our innermost and penetrates through our head, illuminating our head and descending into our heart and filling our lungs. Divine Mother, we give you thanks for your contribution. And now we can sing together the mantra RAOM GAOM to bring back memories. RAOM GAOM RAOM GAOM RAOM GAOM RAOM GAOM RAOM GAOM RAOM GAOM. RAOM. GAOM. RAOM. GAOM. Allow yourself to penetrate now into an exercise of retrospection. Revisit the events of the day. If you come across any event that shocks your consciousness, maybe some ego there that was present, inviting actions, thoughts that were not ethical in nature, that were inferior in their expression, do not discard the event. Now that you have used the mantra, repeat that event in your mind and go over it several times so that you can get as much detail as you can from it. So you can see how it affected your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, so that you can comprehend that defect and invoke your Divine Mother to eliminate it. If necessary, you can keep singing the mantra using the silent word of your mind. If at any moment you lose your relaxation, invoke your innermost. Divine Father, bring back into this body our previous state of relaxation. Divine Mother, we're here humbly at your presence, offering you the degree of comprehension that we have gotten from this psychological aggregate. We ask of you, Divine Mother, that you take your flaming spear of arrows and that you help us by reducing this aggregate to a cosmic dust. We beg that you liberate the consciousness that has been trapped in it. And if you remain watchful, your Divine Mother will be revealed to you in a vision. And as she reduces that defect to a cosmic dust, you may be able to observe her delicate fingers retrieving from those ashes a small particle of light, maybe the size of a grain of sand, but that shines with the intensity of 1,000 suns. and her depositing it back directly into your heart. Divine Mother, we're infinitely grateful for your contribution. Divine Father and our real being, we give you infinite thanks for the help that you have given us. We beg of you, awaken in us the faculties of imagination, inspiration, and intuition, and give us the opportunity to perceive not only the events of today, but those of our past lives. We ask of this by the universal charity and in the name of the great law. Amen. 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 Let's take a deep breath in. 1, 2. And let's go ahead. We can wiggle our toes, our fingers, and we can come back. Well, dear friends, this has been our practice with the mantra RAOM GAOM, and fortunate enough we had the opportunity to also practice the mantra Pander. Thank you everyone for being here with us this evening. To all, we wish you a great, relaxing weekend. Hopefully we will see you next week. To everyone, have a good night and may all beings be happy. Good night.